Greetings, everyone! And yes, the comic nerd supreme is finally now inducted into the Youtubers3. And no, that's not a cocky dill, it's just... The thing about me, before I actually get started, let me introduce myself before I start going off on a weird tangent like I always do. Hello everyone, new subscribers, old subscribers, people that follow the Youtubers3, etc. I am Slycooper88, also known as Steve. I go by, I don't mind people actually calling me Steve. If you want to call me Steve, I'm fine with that. Matter of fact, I think everybody calls me Steve. I think my family's the only one that calls me by my full first name, which is Steven. Also, if you do happen to call me Steven, it's Steven with a PH, not a V. I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi there, but it's just funny because people always tend to write a V. I guess because that's the most common pronunciation of it, and that the PH is kind of weird. But anyway, I'm not gonna get into that whole deal. Also, another personal fact to get out of the way very quickly early on in this video. I have Asperger's syndrome. I am actually a high-functioning autistic. Just to clarify that to some people, so if you happen to ever talk to me on Skype and whatnot, or if you're a new subscriber and you kind of are kind of a little like, okay, this guy's kind of weird. It's not that I'm weird, I'm just sociably awkward and autistic. It's just, parts of my autism, whether it's, inadvertent or not, just coming out. But mainly, a lot of that is just BS, and that I'm just a really very weird dude. I mean, I have a hardcore sense of humor when it comes to potty humor. I'm very sick in the head. Very sick in the head. Anyway, there was a lot of talk in the months leading up to the Mount Vernon Kids expansion time video, and we had just went over it. Always talking about, and then one time it was set up that myself or F.W. Waller or Pop Culture Diva or even TanakaCon 1985, those of us that hang out the most with, Zip and all of them on Skype, with, Zip and Mount Vernon Kid, especially on Skype, there was kind of an agreement that, we'll have reserve members. Well, then it evolved to, we'll create a whole entire other channel and call ourselves the YouTubers Core. And just kept talking about it, and, I guess finally, Mount Vernon Kid, got really damn tired of us all always talking about it and decided to put foot to ass, which is a good thing. So now we lead to all of us, in the news section. Last night, for example, I got to actually talk a little bit with Sick Rick Joseph, one of the new members who is actually... You'll see his video on the channel, activity log there. I don't know, I'm trying to keep a clear head here, guys, but it's kind of hard. I'm very bouncy and excited because, I've been trying to find a social group or trying to find a social medium, and usually it's just for fun that I'll hang out with, Mount Vernon Kid and all of them. We all just kind of, let off. It's kind of like more like, we all hang out and just like let off steam and talk about our days and stuff, regular stuff. So with this whole Youtubers3 expansion, it kind of opens up a lot of, really exciting, doors and opportunities, not just for, new YouTubers to be able to collab with, but also it's gonna give kind of like a community sense, a very good, community sense that, I'll actually have other people to talk to, and that I'll also have other people to collab with, and a lot of other, really good, exciting opportunities. But also, to get into my channel, I do a lot of comic book related stuff. And I'm sporadically all over the place with my videos. Like, randomly, I'll post, like, a spoof, like what I call the Super Friends spoofs, which is just where I take a whole bunch of pictures and I try to create some weird, stupid, Robot Chicken-esque sketch where I do, like, really horrendous voiceovers for characters, or I'll do like a top 10 list. I mainly try to do discussion of pieces when it comes to comics. I have another segment that I mainly have another segment where, I called The World According to Steve, where I tend to just rant about everyday things, find a reason to complain about something. But the main bread and butter of my YouTube channel is Lesser Known But Awesome Heroes. And that particular segment is one that's a lot more personal to me because, being a fan of superheroes. And the point of Lesser Known But Awesome Heroes, for those that are new and those who are, follow this channel but have maybe never checked out my channel, it's a segment that I like doing where I take, characters like this guy right here, Booster Gold, and I push them to the forefront. I basically say, hey, Deadpool is kind of cool. Superman's awesome, but have you heard of, Booster Gold? Have you heard of, the Guardians of the Galaxy? Have you heard of, Adam Strange? And, this character's not well received, but I'm going to tell you why they're cool. And I like this, and I've actually recently started to get a very steady fan base for it, which I like. But what I like even more is the comments that people leave telling me, oh, I'm so glad that you do this segment, and, I never knew all this about this character, and, I've been reading the same characters, and I've been looking for a different character to read, and, very heartwarming comments that really kind of, make me, feel good, and I always tell people, comments like that make it worthwhile. Because don't get me wrong, I like doing this segment, but at the same time, I think like any YouTuber, good positive feedback, encourages me to want to do more. And what's also great is that people are even now starting to give me requests for characters that they want to see. Like I had a guy request for me to do, Night Thrasher from the New Warriors, so it's all good, guys. But anyway, link to my channel below, Facebook, and PM me if you want my Skype and all that jazz. And I look forward to future collaborations on this channel.